Hi guys, I want to talk to you today about how to get what you want. So many people are wishing they had things. They're wishing they had the perfect spouse. They wish they had the perfect business, more profitability, more sales, whatever. But most people, the average person, is just sitting there waiting for it to happen. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how you attract whatever it is that you want. And it's actually easier than you think. And it's interesting because I've heard this and I've read it from some of the most successful people I know, and I want to share it with you because I want you to get more of what you want. To do that though, you have to look at the way our brain works. So our brain has two systems, okay? System 1 and system 2, okay? So I'm going to start with system 2. So that'll frame system 2. So system 2 is where we process like 40 million bits of data per second or per minute. It's a ridiculous amount of information. So there's all this like blah, 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 stuff. We don't even notice it, right? It's ads we see, it's thoughts we have that kind of go zipping through our brains. It's all of the things that we perceive, that we hear, all those like little thought blots that go through our head, okay? But we're not really noticing all of this stuff. So the stuff in system 2 is just sort of general noise, okay? Now, in system 1, this is, call it 40 bits per second or minute. I can never remember which one it is, but just, again, we're looking for a scale, 40 million pieces of data versus 40 pieces of data, and this is the data we use. This is the data we process, okay? So the best analogy that I can explain, and again, there's 2 words that go over this, and everyone knows what it is, and I never remember what the words are, but let's say you want to go, you go and you get a new car. So you drive a black Acura, right? All of a sudden you see black Acuras absolutely everywhere because your brain has now processed it this way. And once you say, okay, I have, or I want, or I'm looking at focusing on this thing, again, the black Acura, your brain then goes in here, right? And it picks out any data relating to this decision, okay? So one of the examples that I read about recently, and I've talked about this a couple of times, so pardon the repetition, I love to read Darren Hardy's book, The Compound Effect. Great book, go and read it. Anyway, but in this, he's decided that he wanted to have an ideal partner. And so what he did is he sat down with his notebook, right? I got props, and a pen, which I have, pen right here. And he wrote 40 pages, worth of what he wanted in a partner. Everything down to their physical appearance, their attitude, their interests, everything. He just wrote everything down. He was pulling out of the noise and making a decision on what he wanted. Then he did something which I really, really respect. And he said, if this is what I want in a partner, this is who I have to become to earn that person. And so then he wrote another 40 pages of what he had to be, how he had to act, how he had to behave, what he had to enjoy, and what outlook he needed to have on life in order to deserve that person that he was looking for. So what happened? What happened was, because he decided that he wanted something and he decided that this is what he was getting. So he didn't say, I'm going to get this partner in 10 years, or I'll work toward it, or I'll try. He said, this is what I have. This is what I'm going to get. This is what I deserve. And I'm also going to become this in order to live up to this person's expectations as well. And so what happened was, because now his brain is like, oh, okay, I'm going to pull out all this relevant information. What happened is the same thing that happened in the Acura kind of example. He started to see different kind of people that would fit those descriptions, that would fit that particular profile. And he found that perfect partner and became a perfect partner himself. So it sounds really weird, but you have to believe that this is how the world operates. If you want something, if you want more sales, you don't say, I'm going to get it eventually. You don't kind of sit there and don't move, right? Like when he wanted to get this relationship, he just didn't sit at home and wait for her to show up at his front door. No, he went and he got it. So there's a piece of the puzzle a lot of people miss, and that's the do the work part, right? So if you want something, so if you want more sales, first of all, you make a list of exactly who you want to get more sales from, right? Do the Darren Hardy thing. Get a notebook, write 40 pages of what your ideal client looks like. What do they like? What do they do in the evenings? What do they do during the day? What keeps them up at night? What do they love, right? What are their demographic profile? Where do they live? All those kinds of things, aspirations, fears, nightmares, joys, all those kinds of things. You write that down. Your brain is going to start going into the noise and it's going to say, oh, hey, I picked that. Oh, I recognize that. And it's going to start alerting you to opportunities that are right in front of you. But because of all the noise, it gets buried. And we all have noise, right? So our jobs is, if you want something, right, you have to decide that you want it. You have to define what it is so that your brain goes into that noise and pulls out the opportunities, and then you have to move toward it. It's not going to come and land on your lap. So many people are average, and they're average because they wait for stuff to happen. They don't actually go out and do more. So I train top performers on how to get to the next level, be even better at what they're doing. There's one person I'm training right now, and she's absolutely phenomenal at what she does. But you know what? There's a next level for that person as well. So it's a matter of defining what that next level is, deciding that it's what you're going to get, moving towards that. And the moving toward is the tricky part. And this is because you're going to be moving towards something that your brain might be trying to tell you is not possible, right? So Darren, in his example of finding the perfect mate, his brain could have said, there's so many people out there and it's so hard to meet people. So, just relax. Don't worry about it. Our brains try to protect us from rejection and pain and suffering. And so sometimes our brains actually work against us in taking forward steps in things that are uncomfortable. But you need to do that because imagine the two steps involved, defining what you want and moving towards it at the same time. That is what brings the opportunities. So when you look at someone like, they got a lucky break. They're just, they got handed something. They probably didn't. They defined it, decided that that is exactly what they're getting, not in the future, but right now. They start telling their brains that, okay, brain, we're successful. We have this business. We have these clients. So the brain starts to notice and pull information out of the noise. And then they took action on those opportunities. And that last piece is what makes it look like they're lucky when actually they're just taking action on what they saw as an opportunity. Okay, so one of my favorite little phrases is, while the optimist and the pessimist were arguing about whether the glass was half empty or half full, the opportunist drank it. So go out and be an opportunist. Define what you want. Pull it from the noise. Start taking action, and you can literally get whatever you want. All right, so good luck. Let me know how it goes in the comments. Share this with other people. There's so many people who are sitting around waiting for stuff to happen to them. It doesn't happen. Good jobs don't fall in your lap. Good relationships don't fall in your lap. Happy things don't fall in your lap. You got to go get them. Define it, move towards it, and you'll get all the lucky breaks that you see other people out there getting. All right, peace out, guys. Have a fantastic day.